Okay, so in a few hours from now, both Miyabi and Yuzuha are saying goodbye to the banner rotation, and they're going to get both Alice and Yanagi in the second half of 2.1, which is going to be quite long. The second half of the version 2.1 is going to stay for 4 weeks, which is a lot of time for you to decide if you're going to pull one of these units, if you're just going to wait until the 2.2 special program and see what they have for us. For the A ranks, we have Sokaku and Seth, which honestly feels a little bit sad because, to be honest, Sokaku is not that good. The only reason why Sokaku still has a pretty huge value on the meta is because of Miyabi mono-eyes things, you know? And for Saf, the problem with Saf is just that he's a pretty good free-to-play option, okay, before someone jumps at me. Right now, Anomaly is pretty much focused on disorder stuffs, and because of this, we don't play like hyper carry Anomaly units that much anymore. Saf just buffs most of the time just a single unit, and because of this, some of his long animations, lack of damage here and there, it kind of makes Saf not a really good support unit for Anomaly right now. So yeah, I don't like these A rank agents, but it is what it is. Let's do some calculations, let's show some numbers and talk about both Alice, Yanagi, if you need their signatures, if you need these units in your account or anything like this. And yes, we'll be talking about Jane Alice because everyone's talking about this. Listen, we both know how important it is when it comes to saving money on these gacha games, and that's where LD Shop comes in. LDShop.gg is a top-up platform that offers massive discounts and good prices for a lot of different games, including Zone Zero. All you need is your server and the UID, and you're good to go. You just select what you want to buy, you up everything here, you press top up, and then you're going to get a confirmation detail page. Make sure everything here is correct because, of course, you want to get your polychromes and your internet membership, right? You just wait a little bit, and your polychromes are going to be delivered to your account that fast. Look at this. And you know there's double top-up bonuses that you get on the first time you buy one of those monochrome packs. LD Shop got you covered because they can trigger the double top bonus for you. And the best part is that whenever you spend $80 in a single month, you get a coupon that allows you to get one of those monthly memberships for free, even in an internet membership, as you can see right here. Register your account using my link down in the description and you get a 15 and a 5% coupon that allows you to save up to $50. So stop wasting time and start saving money using LD Shop. Thanks LD Shop for sponsoring this video. Be careful, you know, with your eyes or something because, yeah, it's going to be a flashbang. There we go. So we have some numbers here. I did some calculations. We'll be talking about Jane, Alice, Yanagi, and the value these units can provide for you. So starting with Alice a little bit, if you still didn't watch my Alice guide, I highly recommend give it a watch. I go over all of Alice kit. I try to use a really beginner-friendly approach. It is going to help you understand what Alice is going to be for you. But to give you a TLDR, Alice is like on-field Anomaly unit. She just wants to stay on the field as much as she can because she needs to generate resources and spend these resources on polarized assaults, which is like pretty much good thing for Alice. You know, more assaults, more damage, it's good. And then a lot of people are like talking about Alice with Jane together because Jane provides extra crit damage and things like this, you know. But the truth is that if your Jane is Mindscape 0, okay, this is Jane at Mindscape 0. Alice Jane is just a side grade to any other Alice and another Anomaly unit, pretty much, okay? Because you get extra value from the extra disorders you can trigger right here. The disorder on corruption, it could be Bernie's, even though Bernie's damage is like pretty much lower than Vivian. But the idea here is that you get a lot of good value from having a second attribute on your team. The thing about Jane is that, yes, it's good. Why it's good? Why this even works? So here's the thing. Alice has access to a lot of assaults because not only you have the build up you deal on all of her kit, basic attacks and other stuff, you also can trigger another assault, which is the polarized assault, right? So pretty much you end up having like, I would say not double the number of assaults here, but around 1.5 assaults that you usually get. And Jane is also pretty much a 1.5 assaults because she gives you 50% crit damage at Mindscape 0. But if you go for Mindscape 2, instead of being 1.5, you know, only 50% crit damage, it goes to 100% crit damage. So like when you pair those two together, you start to get a lot of value on your assaults. So this is why it ended up being like super good, not to mention all the other buffs. Jane Mindscape 2 provides you with defense strat and other stuff. Alice Mindscape 1 as well also provides you with damage on assaults, disorders, and a lot of stuff. So everything just stacks up on top of each other and you get a lot of value on this. Then if you go for Jane Mindscape 2, you can see here that the things start to get better. You see, because Jane Mindscape 2 is going to give you the extra assaults, the extra defense shred and other stuff, you can see here that the value starts to increase quite a lot. Because all of Alice's assaults, including the polarized assaults, is going to benefit from Jane Mindscape 2. You can see here that it starts to kind of beat Vivian Mindscape 2. This is Vivian and Mindscape 2. You can see here the damage increases as well, but at the end, kind of starts beating Vivian Mindscape 2. So it is quite interesting. The more you end up stacking stuff, it can go like even higher if you go for Alice Mindscape 2, for example. Take a look on this here. So yeah, things start to scale really high the more you end up getting extra salts. Mindscape 2 is going to give you extra salts. Mindscape 1 is going to give you defense shred on Alice. So I feel that Alice Jane is an amazing thing if you are like a Dolphin player, you know? If you have the pools to spend for every single one of these units, then yeah, it's going to be pretty good. But if you're just going for baselines, Alice Mindscape 0, Jane Mindscape 0, Yuzuha Mindscape 0, it is just going to be a side grade to many other things, options. So honestly, I would recommend pulling Alice just to play with Jane if you're not willing to spend the extra pulls on Alice and Jane. If you're just going for baselines, Alice and Jane feels like a little bit of a waste. It could be better for you to just play with someone else. And for those looking to understand if Alice is better than Jane, yes, it is slightly better, but we're talking about doing some better rotations right here, okay? This is assuming that you're doing like better rotations. Usually for me on my tests, if I'm playing like really lazy gameplay, I don't care for optimizing my rotation and a lot of assault stuff, messing up everything. I feel that both Jane and Alice are on the same level. If I do some proper rotations, play a little bit better, then Alice is going to kind of get better numbers than Jane. Especially if you have like another unit or another anomaly unit on your team, you end up getting a lot of value from Alice, especially Vivian, because you trigger a lot of the Zoras. Both the Zoras from Assault on top of Assault, then you have Assault on top of Corruption, and Corruption on top of Assault as well. If you're going for the classic Jane, Vivian, Yuzuha team, the only kind of the Zoras you're going to trigger is Jane Assault on top of Vivian Corruption, and then Corruption on top of Jane's Assault. This is all you're going to get. Meanwhile, here, you have access to way more disorders, better value on Alice disorders as well because of her core skill, and a lot of these stuffs. Yes, Alice is better than Jane, that's for sure, but you kind of also need to play a little bit better than Jane. If you, for some reason, okay, I'm going for Alice Jane, but I hate playing Alice, then it's probably better for you to not pull Alice. Because on Alice Jane teams, Alice is the one that is going to stay on the field. Jane is just going to pop up sometimes so you can reapply her buff and get the crit assaults. Jane is just going to appear sometimes to use one EX special and get a second fast assault. The ultimate on stun windows to reset the anomaly cooldown and then get to another assault as well, and things like this. This is what Jane is going to do. Just pop up sometimes. Most of the time you need Alice to be on the field because you want to generate resources on her, trigger polarized assaults, and polarized assaults are going to benefit from Jane, Mindscapes, and crit assaults and other stuffs. Okay, so basically speaking, yes, Alice is going to be like the on-field unit, and for this specific thing, Jane is just working as a really weird support unit for Alice. It definitely works, that's for sure, it definitely works. But if you don't like Alice gameplay, don't put Alice for Jane. Like, really, because Alice is the one that is going to stay on the field. If you like Alice gameplay, but you don't plan going for Mindscapes, well, pull Alice to play with Vivian, not with Jane. Pull Alice to play with Bernice, maybe even Yanagi. It just depends on whatever you like, whatever you have fun with. Because at the end, it's a game, you should have fun. So don't pull units just because of the power level if they are not fun. You know, Miyabi is an amazing unit, but I know a lot of people that don't have fun playing Miyabi, so is it really worth pulling a unit that is going to make the gameplay look boring for you? I don't think it is. So just pull things that you like to play, that you like to look at the field or anything. So yeah, if Alice is the kind of unit you enjoy because maybe you don't like Jane, maybe you just start in 2.0, you don't have Jane on your account, you don't like playing Piper, for example, then yeah, Alice is definitely going to be a good unit if you like the idea of playing around Anomaly, Assaults, and you like Alice gameplay as well. About Alice signature, because I know that some of you asked me on my Alice guide that I said that Alice signature is the best option on every single physical anomaly right now. Yes, this includes even Jane's signature, by the way, but we're talking about really, really small stuff here. So if you take a look here on the Jane calculations, you're going to notice that if Jane goes for Alice signature, it's going to be just a minimal DPS increase. It's so minimal. And you need to keep in mind that Alice signature is not going to provide you anomaly proficiency. You need a lot of good rolls for you to get the 100% crit rate on your Jane, because Alice signature is just anomaly mastery, extra damage, and attack on the substat. So you don't have anomaly proficiency here. It just gives anomaly proficiency to Alice because of her additional ability. You see? So for Jane, it could be really hard for you to keep up with this, you know, extra anomaly proficiency that you need to go. But for Piper, take a look on this one. For Piper, this is quite interesting because if you take a look comparing with her signature, okay, look at this. Look at this. We're talking about 10% extra damage pretty much, 10% extra damage with Alice signature. But do you need this? Is it worth it going for Alice signature for your Piper? Not really, honestly. I don't think it is. But just to explain why it's so good on Piper is because Piper gets energy regeneration on her core A, C, and E instead of Anomaly Mastery. So this means that this disc right here, this 6 Anomaly Mastery on Piper, is not providing a lot of value for you. You see, because Piper Anomaly Mastery is below the average. If we compare with Jane, Alice, or any other anomaly character, their anomaly mastery is higher, which means this thing right here is going to give you better anomaly mastery. But since Piper anomaly mastery is below the average, if you have a flat anomaly mastery buff, it's kind of better for you. So yeah, this is why it just works on every single physical anomaly unit. The extra anomaly mastery is really good. Okay, do you need it? Should you pull it just for Piper? I don't think it's worth it. Okay, pull the signature if you plan to pull Alice. And honestly, you don't even need to pull just for Alice that much. I explained this on my Alice guide, but if you have good units to give you synergy with your Alice, then you're good to go. You can play, for example, Alice, Vivian, and Yuzuha without Alice signature, as long as you have like Vivian and as long as you have Yuzuha with her signature engine maybe as well. So yeah, as long as you have good units to help you deal damage, you're good. But if you're playing, let's say, Alice Trigger and Yuzuha, then yes, you need Alice signature. Don't do this thing if you're not willing to pull Alice signature, for example. Okay? Because if you're playing Alice as a hyper carry, she's going to be the only unit dealing damage. So if she's the only unit dealing damage, the difference is quite massive. I do have the numbers here, right? Okay, so right here, look at this. Look at how huge the difference is. We're talking about almost 30% increased damage compared to Whipping Gemini Phase 5. But if we go for team calculations, you're going to notice here that it kind of drops down to 15% only, and that's because Vivian helps a lot dealing damage. If you want to get like more information about all these weapons, why I like some of these, why I don't like some of these, then I highly recommend checking my Alice guide once again. I'm going to be linking in the top right corner if you didn't watch it yet. Okay, so this is all about Alice. We need to talk about Yanagi right now, because Yanagi is finally get a rerun. And she's pretty good, honestly. Okay, not gonna lie. For me personally, I feel that if you don't have Alice and Yanagi, and you can only pull a single unit, I would say that Yanagi is a pretty good unit for you to pull for your account. Because she has a lot of flexibility, she has a lot of good synergies. She's also some kind of on-field unit as well, but you can definitely play her in a more sub-DPS style, just a disorder machine for other units. The main example here being Miyabi, for example. On Miyabi release, a lot of players use Yanagi as a disorder machine just to generate stacks for Miyabi. It's just that you have a lot of different ways to play Yanagi. And this flexibility is something that I personally enjoy quite a lot. You can play Yanagi as a sub DPS. As I said, Alice, Yanagi, Yuzuha, for example, it works. You could go for Yanagi as main DPS unit on mono shock team compositions. You could play Yanagi, Seth, that is available right here, and then maybe Rina, for example. But I think that the main question that a lot of you want to ask is, do you need Yanagi signature? And the answer is going to surprise you a little bit. Because here's the thing, back in 1.4, this is the kind of feeling we had regarding Yanagi signature. It's a signature that is going to provide is going to give you access to the Disorder damage multiplier, which is something like really unique. And because of this, it is really good. Take a look on these numbers here. Okay, if you take a look here, you're going to see that Fusion Compiler Phase 5 is going to beat it, but we're talking about Phase 5. Okay, and personally, I don't enjoy playing Fusion Compiler that much. If we go for Whipping Gem, now you're going to start noticing some damage drops here. Okay, this is still Vivian. We have Astra right here. Back in 1.3, we didn't even have Vivian. It would be like Bernice or just Seth as a hyper carry, Yanagi or something, you know? And why it's so good? Disorder damage is so good in Yanagi because of the polarity disorder she has access to. It benefits from all the disorder damage. So because of all these things, Yanagi provides something really unique, and not to mention the extra build-up as well. I feel this is actually the main thing about her signature. If you don't have the extra build-up, you kind of end up needing a lot of basic attacks. It makes your gameplay a little bit slow. You get slow disorders, which slow down your damage. So that's why you end up like losing some 8-10% damage here. And this is because we're using Vivian, because if we're using like Bernice, for example, then the difference would be even higher right here. Okay, because Vivian's providing you some extra disorder damage on top of corruption and things like this. It kind of helps with the disorder damage that I mentioned here, that technically it was only available on Yanagi's signature. But now, especially if you have Yuzuha on your account, look at this. The damage difference is like minimal stuff. We're talking about 4% damage difference if you go for Whipping Gemini. Okay, we're talking about 5% damage difference if you go for Fusion Compiler. You definitely don't need the Yanagi signature, okay? If you're looking to pull Yanagi, maybe you like the gameplay, maybe you like something. I do have a guide on the works. It should release next week or something for Yanagi as well, because I'll be talking about these things, okay? The new characters that released since Yanagi released on 1.3, Vivian, Yuzuha, a lot of things kind of change how you should approach and feel the build and the value of weapons and a lot of other stuff. Okay, so if you just want the TLDR, these are the numbers. You're not losing a lot of damage if you decide to not go for Time Weaver anymore. You have Yuzuha on your account, you're good. You don't need Yanagi signature. You don't have Yuzuha on your account, then yeah, going for Yanagi signature is going to be a pretty good investment for you. You definitely don't need it. I don't feel that Yanagi is a kind of unit that needs the signature. If you are in the free-to-play scenario, if you are like more free-to-play, you don't have the pools to spend, I still feel that Yanagi provides better value than Alice. But honestly, none of them are like must pull, in my opinion. Pull whoever you like if you have the pools. If you want to get the best value, and Yuzuha and Miyabi is still available for you right now as you are watching this video, go for either Miyabi or Yuzuha as I explained on my 2.1 pool evaluation video, like the first half pool evaluation video, which I'll link in the top right corner. TLDR is pull Alice if you like Alice, pull Yanagi if you like Yanagi, and about signatures, maybe Alice signature if you have the spare pulls, because it's good like on everyone and it's amazing on Alice. Yanagi signature, you definitely don't need it, especially if you have Yuzuha on your account. If you don't have it, then yeah, but why not pick up just Yuzuha instead, which is like better for everyone instead of just a single unit, you know? So that's it for today's video. Hope it could help you, you know, see some of these numbers and help you decide where you're going to spend your pools or not. And that's it. See you all in 2.2 on stream as well. Remember that you can catch me live on both on YouTube and Twitch. And yeah, that's it. See ya. Bye-bye.